in any case,
Yeah.
just looking at just going back to Zelda characters, then I kind of then just go with that route, going with I mean, your next big like recurring Zelda character, I think, would be Tetra. Actually, Tetra's been more recurring than any other Zelda partner.
That is true.
And you know,
That's true.
when they made Sheik, I mean, they gave Sheik all these ninja-based attacks and weapons and powers, and you know, to be honest, Sheik really didn't do that much in Ocarina of Time fighting. So I mean, you could just as easily make like a pirate-themed, you know, moveset for Tetra.
Ninjas versus pirates within the same series.
That would be sweet. That would be sweet.
Now, the other characters that at least have some merit that I see a lot,
Spirit
you know,
Tracks Zelda?
Vaati has some merit.
would be Vaati. Yeah, you see Vaati a
That is
lot.
true.
Which to be honest, I just don't like Vaati. I have a personal vendetta against Vaati.
I feel like he would.
What do you have against giant black eyeballs? Are you racist, Pizza Dude Man guy?
Yeah,
Do you hate black people?
Don't shoot till you see the blacks of his eyes. No, but I feel like Vaati would have a good, unique moveset compared to the other ones because he's a wind mage. But yeah, I don't think he really has a gigantic impact on the series. That much.
To me, Vaati is a glorified minor villain, just in my opinion.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Yeah.
He had his
Kinda.
games, but how much of an impact did he actually leave on Hyrule?
Not much, considering the games that he is in are kind of like very heavily debated in the timeline.
Exactly, and it's not like he was on some big groundbreaking console game. You know, he was. No, he's not.
Ganon has many times pretty much broken the kingdom apart.
I see what you did there.
There are marks of things that Ganon has done. And if you ever went back to Holodrum or Labrina, actually, there would even be marks of things that Onyx and what's-her-name had done.
Yeah, the
Starts with a V.
Varen.
Starts with a V. Yeah, Varen had done. But you don't go back there. I'm not saying they should be in, because I don't think they should. But I mean, Vaati relatively had a pretty small impact on
I really think so.
Hyrule compared to some others.
And I think that's why I have a personal vendetta against him, because you see him on rosters a lot, and I'm like,
He's a big fangirl character mostly.
We have a resident one of the Desert Colossus, actually, so...
So kawaii.
The other Zelda character that you see a lot, which I think has a lot of merit. Oh, hello, Katie. That would have a lot of merit, actually, would be Tingle. But he's just so unpopular here. It's unfortunate.
But he's popular in Japan, though.
Exactly. So you wonder if that's enough, though, because they've kind of, banished him.
It was enough to make him an assist trophy.
It was enough to make him an assist trophy, and it was enough to give him a side series, but that side series is not America. They've kind of banished him from the mainstream Zelda games for the sole purpose that he wouldn't have to be seen internationally, and that's what bothers me. Now, to be honest, unlike Vaati, I like Tingle.
But hey, that's perfectly valid.
Yeah. I think Tingle actually has some strong points of merit, and he even has his own little side series, and he's pretty adventurous, and he's got powers, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. So then, where does that leave you for adding new Zelda characters? I still find the most likely choice to be Tetra.
Though I've got to say, Tingle did leave an impression on the gamer, whether he called it or not.
That is true. But on the concept of new Zelda characters, though, maybe Girahim would be another character as well.
Well, that's another example of Zant, though. When Brawl was coming out and Twilight Princess New, people were all for Zant and Midna. And it's just kind of like, well, how important is this character going to be in the later installments of the series? I like Girahim. He's a cool character for Skyward Sword, but is he going to be overarching in the Zelda series?
If he has some gigantic impact on the founding of Hyrule, if Skyward Sword is about the founding of Hyrule, which is what I'm speculating right now.
That's what it's looking like to me.
If he has some kind of gigantic impact that will be seen, throughout the rest of the series, then maybe.
But I mean, like, the whole factor with Zant was like, oh, Zant, he made villain of Twilight Princess. Oh, wait, no, it's Ganondorf at the very end.
He's just a
hijacked by Ganon.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of these minor villains too. Like even Vaati had some stuff with Ganondorf in the very end. So I mean, a lot of these Zelda villains eventually trace back to Ganondorf.
Onyx and Varen both did.
Yeah.
Kumi and Katake. All right, so moving out of Zelda, I think we've pretty much settled on Tetra.
Okay. Well, Next would be... What?
Well, we might want to cut this a little bit short, so you might want to summarize your next point, Pizza Dude Man Guy, before we close.
But there's so much more to talk about.
You have a channel for it.
Yeah, that's what I have my channel. Let's tackle the only other like really super debatable one, which would be the Pokemon.
Oh God.
Or is that too big for now?
It is. That's probably really big for now.
650. What could go wrong?
We'd be here for days.
I don't know. I'll try the Pokemon characters that already are in place are so debated as they are. The only one that anyone agrees on when you're looking at speculation is Pikachu. People are like, okay, you gotta have Pikachu. Everything else is up for debate, unfortunately.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because Pokemon is not a narrative series that has had a strong recurring cast of characters, everything's popularity.
Now, the only one that's clear-cut for me is Jigglypuff. There's people who think Jigglypuff's a stupid character, why even have it? Which, my argument is, okay, you might be right, but Jigglypuff's been in all 3 Smash games now. It's a tradition, we can't break it.
Yeah.
That's my feeling. Pokemon Trainer is so debated. There are some people who think we should just leave him as he is. There are some people who think he was a stupid character to begin with and we should cut him. There are some people who think...
Change his model to May.
Yeah. There's some people who think we should, replace him with a new trainer, like a 5th-gen trainer or a 2nd-gen trainer with those Pokemon. There's some people who think we should have multiple trainers for, every generation, and you can, mix and match and, customize your trainer. And
that would be sweet as well.
It's like, hey, look, I have Charizard, Typhlosion, and Blaziken.
I think we should have them put a miniature Pokemon game into Brawl and then through and catch your Pokemon.
Catch your Pokemon so you can use them in Smash. That's actually what they kind of did in the Subspace Emissary.
My personal opinion, keep it simple and just have the trainer as he is. Improve upon him, but don't change his Pokemon. Let's just have Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard and be happy with that.
Or we could have, Triku, Mudkip, and, that other dude.
You see a lot of that.
They're not nearly as popular, though.
Except for Mudkip.
Yeah, Mudkip.
Mudkip's more of a joke.
Yeah.
Who cares? It would be awesome. It would be awesome.
Yeah,
the internet would explode in happiness.
That would be like putting Ralph into the Zelda series.
Ralph really isn't that liked of a character. I've heard, or he's considered the Scrappy of the Oracle games.
It's like if you're adding a Zelda character, you add error.
They actually should do that.
This game's winner is error.
Oh crap! The game just glitched out. The game just glitched out. No.
Francis, I was playing as Francis.
It's like adding Francis to the Mario series.
In any case, so I don't know. I don't feel like going to the whole debate of Pokemon Trainer. Lucario, though. I mean, you actually, the very interesting thing between Melee and Brawl is actually looking at the data in Brawl. You can find the data of all the characters that were taken out of Melee. Dr. Mario, Roy, Pichu, Young Link, their data's all there.
Mm-hmm.
And most people explain this as maybe they were transferring data to use as a reference point in some cases. But the interesting one is Mewtwo, because actually Mewtwo had some development between Melee and Brawl, and there's actually soundtracks of him using a final smash. And so the way most people interpret it, this is the way I've interpreted it anyway, is in a late interview, Sakurai said that the decision to add Lucario was last minute because he saw that, besides Lucario, everyone else he had put in was a first generation Pokemon. He had Pikachu, he'd already announced the Pokemon Trainer, and he had Jigglypuff. So he decided he needed a 4th gen Pokemon to kind of balance it out between the old and new Pokemon. And so a lot of people then think, probably rightfully so, that because of that, Lucario is a replacement for Mewtwo. But to balance it, they kind of, since Mewtwo was a pretty unique character, they kind of put in Mewtwo's elements into Lucario's fighting style.
Like Aura Sphere, for instance.
Yeah, the aura and kind of the floaty way of jumping and stuff like that. So then that creates so many debates for the future of Lucario in Smash games. There are some people who believe we should just keep Lucario now that he's there. There's people who believe we should cut him and add Mewtwo back because there's a lot of Mewtwo fans out there. I'm a Mewtwo fan. There's some people who think, yeah, he is. There's some people who think we should have both. There's some people who think we should do the same thing this time and, like, replace Lucario with a new 5th gen, and usually people agree on that being Zoroark.
Yeah.
Which makes sense to me. But that one's just so... Of all the series, Pokemon's the most for speculation, because there's so many more options than anything else.
Yeah. But anyway,
that's all I got for now.
Yeah, otherwise we'd be here for days. But
yeah.
It isn't. You do make a lot of interesting points, and maybe we could actually, I don't know, do maybe a bonus podcast later regarding mainly with Smash, or actually
it's
maybe
just
maybe with
me
Smash
talking for 3 hours.
Yeah. but no, seriously. We could actually do this, like right when the hype for the next Smash game is really starting to come up.
Once they start actually announcing stuff.
Well, we need something to talk about. We don't have tons of Zelda stuff. So
yeah, but until then, we should probably start closing up, guys.
All right.
So just to recap, we talked about impressions about Ocarina of Time 3D, how it's cool. I still haven't gotten to the end yet, but still, I think it's still a worthy remake. And we talked about Miyamoto and how we think that nothing really is. We think that he's just trolling with us, saying that really, he's not going to get rid of a lucrative franchise just because he wants to make the game really good. And last but not least, obviously, we talked about Smash for 15 hours. Not just kidding. Not just kidding.
Only the last 45 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Only.
Yeah, but still, it was good discussion. It's good discussion, and so anyway, this has been the 4th SandCast. Thanks for listening to us, and thank you once again, pizzadudemanguy, for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we were glad to have you. And thank you once again, KP, for joining us after your 2-year absence from the SandCast.
No problem.
But anyway, this has been the SandCast, and remember, if all else fails, use fire. I'm MagmarFire.
I'm Shikamaru Nara, and I'm apparently not important enough to be thanked.
Alright, well, I'm kamakaziplumber.
I'm Pizza Dude Man.
Die. And this has been the SandCast. Have a good night.